Hello, good morning, my dear student. This is Suraj Anand, chemistry teacher. Welcome in my channel, Chemistry Wala Anand sir. My dear student, today I come with the mechanism, with the topic mechanism of respiration. My dear student, this is very important for present board examination CBSE 2026. So, my dear student, let us learn the mechanism of respiration in a simple way. So, my dear student, it is quite clear. This is the introduction of mechanism of respiration because you are viewing the sorts of mechanism of respiration. So, of the life process chemistry bio chapter number 1. Intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide constitute the physical processes, stepwise oxidation of food and release of energy in the form of triphosphine phosphate represent the biochemical process. Includes the following step. First is the glycolysis, second is the Krebs cycle, and third is the termination oxidation. So my dear student, this is the terminal, sorry not termination, this is the terminal, terminal, terminal oxidation. So my dear student, this is the process. So my dear student, it is quite clear the glycolysis as you see in the diagram. Glycolysis is the first step respiration. It takes in the cytoplasm. It results in the breakdown of glucose 6 carbon compound to pyruvic acid 3 carbon compound during glycolysis. 3 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of pyruvic acid or pyruvate are formed. Further conversion of pyruvic acid depends on the presence of or absence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen, mitochondria start Krebs cycle. This is aerobic respiration. Pyruvic acid enters. And in absence of the pyruvic acid, breakdown in citric into ethyl alcohol 2 carbon compound or into lactic acid 3 carbon compound called anaerobic respiration. Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. In the presence of oxygen, pyruvic acid is completely oxidized into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released in the form of ATP. The step is called Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, as you see in the diagram. So it occurs into the mitochondria, and Krebs cycle occurs simultaneously from each glucose molecule. That is the event occurring during molecular respiration. C6H12O6 plus CO2. 6 CO2 plus 6 CO2 CH2O plus 30 ATP form of energy are formed. So my dear students, let us see the diagram. Glycolysis, glucose 6 carbon 2 ATP, fermentation of lactic acid 3 carbon ethyl alcohol or carbon compound. That is the pyruvic acid fermentation. After pyruvic and oxidation. Pyruvic and oxidation means pyruvic and oxidation, not you write here pyruvic acid oxidation. Pyruvic acid oxidation. So my dear student, after that 2-acyl group or acyl CoA 2 carbon citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle, and the respiratory chain is there. So you see 2 ATP is generated, 2 lactic acid, 2 CO2 aerobic respiration in mitochondria, aerobic respiration is formed 4 CO2, 2 ATP and 32 ATP.